Get out, Bum Shadows here. Missed doing the live stream yesterday at 7. I guess why I'm starting the video because it's not wrestling related. Yeah, pretty much it got postponed. Weather was really crappy where I lived, or the roads were. The roads were like horrendous. It was like, tow trucks didn't exist, something. And I was sliding, going like 25, 30 on the highway. Then when I went to go into my driveway, I slippity and I took a little left and I crashed and ran over our own mailbox. So I guess lucky it was just my mailbox, but still sucks. So after that, I was just like, okay, the roads suck. So I was waiting for my girlfriend to come home, and I just didn't want to tie up the phone line in case she needed me, because she was coming back at the night time. So yeah, that's that story right there. Other than that, though, figured I'd do a little live stream tonight. Try to, because I didn't do the one yesterday or whatever. Definitely unbox something at some point. Yeah, just what else? Yeah, it's been kind of a week. I'll say that much. But I'm glad to kind of be like going on schedule, like on Friday night and everything, and doing that. Where is it? Tonight I was thinking of unboxing Kama, the Supreme Fighting Machine, and his gold necklace accessory. Now I've unboxed Papa Shango from Grapplers and Gimmicks Hasttel toy, and the Papa Shango is awesome, except I've said it before, so I'm not gonna keep repeating it. Papa Shango is awesome, except the hat didn't fit. I'm just saying it. Awesome figure. Now, this does not have a hat, so that's cool. It's a necklace, but, it looks cool from the onset. I mean, the figure itself, the picture's a little, it is a little weird now that I put it, oh god, scary. Hey, what's up? So, I think I'll do that tonight at some point. Other than that, I've been trying to keep up a little bit some of the more like current wrestling, I guess. And I'm not like, it's not horrible. And I'm not like be like sarcastic. Like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I just watched it back in the day, and it's just really hard for me coming from that to like watching that is like a whole different world. And not even an insult. It's just, it's a lot different now. I'll say that, to be fair. Just a lot different. Hey, what's up? What's up, Brad? So yeah, but I watch it. I like it now. It's a lot better than it was, but I've commented before, like, actually, whatever, 2024, like, got me actually back into watching it even. So we'll see, though. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's like, I'm not gonna hate on it, even though I'm the old guy. But yeah, I have to say, though, I'm always gonna hold in my heart, like, at least, well, a lot of the old school time periods, but I'd say like 88 to 92 is like really, like, it's really special to me. So that's how I feel. That was kind of like my era, but like, a lot of people that are younger grew up, and this is like their wrestling, so I respect that. You good, man? Yeah, I'm good. Can you see with your no, that eye's, it's legitimately blind. I've actually been looking for, I usually wear an eye patch, and I switch it up sometimes with this bandana, but I've been wearing this one a lot because I actually lost my eye patch. can't find it. So that's the story on that one. Hey man, haven't you been here in a while? Oh, just be chill. What's up? Death Angel. What's your job? My job? I guess on here, really just to talk about wrestling or like retro action figures and stuff like that and whatnot. I wouldn't really call it a job. It's something I enjoy doing. So yeah, I don't consider it work. I do. Usually, I haven't done it lately, but do a lot more creative like things like original content. But like I said before, I've been slacking, so I gotta get back on that. So, but for now, yeah, I've been doing a lot of live streams lately. Trying to make them 2 a week, and I missed the one yesterday. Alright, we got. So, what do you think of Last Man on Earth series? Cap and Jack, do you? Loved you in Pirates. Okay. Hey, Destiny. You think sideshow action figures. Alright, hold on. You think sideshow action figures is better or Hot Toys? Not familiar with those companies. Like, I pretty much deal with like the wrestling end of it. So yeah, I can't comment on that, on those particular cases. So you didn't watch sports other than wrestling, like the NBA or NFL? Oh no, contrary. Actually, my first thing, like my first favorite thing was like baseball, was Major League Baseball. I played it as a kid. I didn't always have one eye, but I played it as a kid. Played just flag football when I was young, but what else? Basketball. I always played, and I was just I was average at probably all sports, like very average. But I love playing them, and I love watching them. Like NBA, like I grew up in like the Jordan era. Um, NFL, like it was like Dallas Cowboy domination for a while, for like the 90s and stuff. So I grew up with all that. Trying to think. Yeah, I mean, yeah, so anyway, I guess long story long, pretty much, yeah, I did. And I still follow a little bit to this day, just not as much actually when I was a kid, and I collected baseball cards. I grew up during that whole boom when it boomed in the 90s, the early 90s. That's why there's like a million of those cards. But yeah, no, Destiny's right, I do. So, what else do I got going? Interestingly enough, I have a random thing too that I need to unbox or bumbox at some point. Believe it or not, I actually have like a almost complete Jack's Bone Crunch collection that is actually open but new. It sounds weird. They're in the package, opened, and then put in storage. So I gotta do this one. I'm just weird like that. I love this era of figures, but then I made a shit retros, so it was sort of like, I'll just keep these aside. Maybe I'll make a Bone Crunchers figure fed someday. Yeah, Destiny's a great singer. Sure. But yeah, what else? So yesterday was, I think I said it in the beginning, but it was really crap. Well, I almost knocked down my camera. Yeah, just really crap. I just didn't have the live stream. It's just, I don't know. And I earlier, for those that didn't get the pleasure of hearing, I ran over my own mailbox, so don't worry, I'll still go to the post office and get all the love fan mail. I'll have to bring a big sack like Santa. Well, not in the in the other way too, but like a big sack like Santa, carry all the fan mail and love letters and get well soon, shadows, and you're my favorite and just stuff like that. And asking for autographs. What can I do? Yeah, baseball card collection. Holy crap. Yeah, I was obsessed with baseball cards and baseball. I think, like, oddly, like, somewhere around the, well, maybe not oddly, there was a baseball strike in, like, 93 or 94. I forget what year. And, from that point on, I really got into wrestling, and then pretty much I've been into wrestling since. So something about that, I don't know, I just lost interest around that time period. Like, I had watching before that, but I really got into it, like, watching it every week, like, probably, like, early. Well, no, I never actually, the baseball strike was. um, yeah, what am I gonna say? That era of baseball just, and I remember getting the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card. That was crazy. That was like my favorite card for years. And some jerk stole it. And that's not a lie. I don't know. I can't prove who it was or know who it was, but it was stolen, believe me. And I'll get them. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that sucked. But yeah, that was my favorite card. The Upper Deck Griffey Jr. for all your baseball card people out there. Man, the Cowboys fell from grace. Turned into a documentary. How do you go from dynasty? Yeah, like just be chill. Yeah, I remember like I was saying, they were dominant like '90s. I mean, like with Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith, and they even picked up Deion Sanders a little later. Oh, Michael Irvin, that whole deal, and the Buffalo Bills would just get their bums whooped for a while, poor guys. And yeah, they didn't look like it would end, or like it looked like it might be like a mighty decline, but it was just like it's been pretty bad since. Like, I do feel for Cowboys fans in that way, because it's been pretty rough since then for them for sure. Yeah, anyway, long story. That would be a good documentary, though. I'd watch that. I love just documentaries. I still watch those, definitely, to this day. But I love, like, documentary stuff. That's why it's cool being also a wrestling fan, because so much, like, content to watch out there. Like, so I've seen all the WWE documentaries. I've seen a lot of sports ones, and, I watch, like, just interesting, like, pool or whatever, just to kind of learn about stuff. So the message is, children, always learn, always keep learning. Well, kidding aside, though, actually, you should do that. What am I going to do here? Oh, 15 minutes. Okay. So I think I've reached, like, kind of the halfway point. I think I'm going to open up this guy, Mustafa. Although at this time he was just the Supreme Fighting Machine, and He was originally, for those that don't know, he's Papa Shango. And actually, he's on the back. He would later become the Godfather. And this is from Grapplers and Gimmicks Hasttel Toys. So I'll crack them open there. Oh, yeah. For all those wondering, you know, if you're an on the carder, I think they got you here. This is difficult to take off, which isn't a bad thing. That means it's on there. And like I said, if you're an on a carder, hey, oh, he fell out. There's that open card. And I'm not ignoring anyone in the chat. I'm just doing a little bum box here. All right, so we got the Supreme Fighting Machine, comma. We got his necklace. Oh, baby. Fit? It does fit. Look at that. Wow. That is sweet. We got the left arm. It looks like right arm tight. Right arm, that will look like left arm tight. Waist is tight. And the head is also very tight. So, I would say I'd recommend this one from Grapplers and Gimmicks. Go over there. I think it's still available with a few of his gimmicks over there, like the Godfather and Papa Shango. So this figure is really cool. I say go for it. So I got that. Always loved the Hasbro figs. Just so effing smexy. I'm not up to speed. I don't know if that's like a term, or it could be, I guess. Destiny will have to correct me, but I mean, I personally think they're sexy. I mean, but that's just the issue that I have. Like, I mean, Shawn Michaels. That is pretty sexy. There you go. So anyway, speaking of smexy, sexy, flexy, whoever you want to talk about, this is Kama right here. And for those that like Kama, he looks pretty sexy. And even smexy if you're into that too. What else we got? I think, oh no, we see a little time here. I'm still cooking here. What else? Trying to think yeah, like Figure News is really busy, obviously, this past Black Friday and Cyber Monday. I kept it cool. I didn't get out of control. Though it could have been really easy too with like the sales that were going on that I was seeing. I was like, man. And I only collect like retros and like, oh, these are some dealy poos. And I had, keep it wise right now. Can't buy everything attitude I have to have. It's just how it is right now. If things get unexpectedly better, then I'll just buy everything, to be honest. But for the time being, I got to be a little selective. And, so yeah, that's how it is. Really deals, though, for people that, like, missed out on any, like, KWK and, like, J&J had some great sales going on, and so it's kind of busy. Like Zombie did the Road Warriors, and he had a few other releases on his. So if you were like quote unquote completist on a lot of things, you probably spent a good chunk of money. So I feel for you. I could have did that too, and I don't blame you. But I did good. That was a good bum shadows. So that works out for the better. So there'll be Christmas this year, children. Man, I am parched. For those that love weather, I did some shoveling, so I'm a little like, just be chill. Let's say, oh, okay. They're talking about Sega Genesis, Xbox 360. Console designs of all time. I'll just chime in, why not? I was a Super guy. A lot of my friends had Sega Genesis. Although I will say I was jealous when, way back when Mortal Kombat came out to like the home consoles, and like on Super Nintendo the blood was gray, but on Sega it was red, like it was supposed to be blood. So I don't know, that really ticked me off. So that I almost wanted to get a Sega just for that, and then like I think they would like by that time on next Mortal Kombat, and it was like corrected. So I definitely remember those days. I had that game, and Street Fighter was one of my favorites for Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo was a great system. Actually, now you get me thinking about that. Not that Sega was bad at all. I like Sega too. And Sonic was really sick. For that time, especially when the first one came out, it was like worlds different than Mario, which I love too, but like different, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Destiny still. She might remember when I brought home a Sega Genesis. I used to bring home random systems and then I'd sell them like a week later. But I'd get them from like thrift stores and like yard sales, and I used to sell and everything. So I'd bring home like random systems and I'd be like, here, Destiny, just try this out. So she's been gaming for a long time, and actually got to do the classic original Nintendo. She played that too. I always kept one of those around, and I think for Nintendo. Oh, and N64. What am I talking about? So yeah, like the first three Nintendo systems. She remembers that. Sega was edgy, Nintendo wasn't. Yeah, I can see that. End of an era with Cena. Yeah. Yeah, I was actually just watching on YouTube like his best like mic moments of 2025, because like being a wrestling fan as long as I have, like I've seen like the beginning when he started and then like all the way to now, like so as an adult, so it's been like crazy like his run that he's had. And I think I was saying one other chat, like someone was saying something about him, I think that like I don't know, something like he sucked or something. I forget what it was. And I was, well, man, I mean, that dude, like, really, like, he carried, I'd say Randy Orton carried, like, the WWE for a while through some rough years. I mean, well, I'll put CM Punk in there in the first half of the decade, but 10 to, like, 2020, ugh, that was a rough time. What's your favorite food? It's such a simple answer, but it's true because I pretty much like almost any kind. Pizza. I mean, it's not like anything interesting or anything. That's what because that would make me content every time. The Shield. Oh wait, he would have been awesome in the Attitude Era, says Barney Rubble. Yeah, I think he could have survived, because then he got a little more like edgy, which if you watch back in like the Thugonomics thing, he says some like pretty like graphic things. I mean, not for the time, but at the time it wasn't, I mean, but like if you look back, it's like wow. Some of the things I wish I had an example off the top of my head. I'll have to think about that. But yeah, so that's kind of crazy, and I guess it's ending this month. So yeah, I think yeah, it's been a crazy run. And good for him. I mean, the longevity. It up. He's still entertaining people up to the end. So the Shield. Yeah. No. Yeah. They did come about in that time, but like a lot of that time, it seems weird. Like now because of how Roman Reigns is, but in those mid 2010s, they were cramming him as a face down everyone's throat. Like Trump that guy like over as a face, and just people were having it. They just weren't feeling it, and nobody cared. You know, it was just like Roman Reigns. Roman. I think that was during that whole Yes movement with Ryan and stuff like that. And then they tried with Batista, I guess. But yeah, they were pushing him too much, and as a face, he sucked. I think, because he couldn't be himself. But he said, and plus they had him saying some stupid crap. I heard that. I mean, good for them and Seth and whatever for the rise they came out of, but like there were some rough waters there. I heard on reports that Cena's might be a ruse. I actually saw that too, but I'm thinking like, well, I'll never say never. I mean, it could happen, obviously. But my guess would be it is. But who knows? Who knows if like WrestleMania he shows up or something? I guess he's supposed to be there, but people will are expecting him to suit and whatever. So, but they could be just pulling our legs, and then he shows up, but he's in the jorts and he's wrestling for the world title. Well, maybe not the world title, but I don't know. He just like comes out randomly and wrestles somebody. Maybe Dragunov will be having the U.S. title, and he needs an opponent, and he calls out, and it's John Cena. Actually, that'd be pretty cool. But as it stands, I think it's supposed to be legit. So. He loves Chef Boyardee too. I do. I do love Chef Boyardee. Uso. What's up, brother? No, I'm just kidding. I'm assuming you're asking about the Uso. I think everyone, including myself, is kind of sick of the Jey Uso main event run. And like a lot of other people, I think he should just get back with his brother and go for the tag team belts at this point, because the act's kind of gotten stale, and they were teasing like him turning heel, and then he doesn't turn heel. Then I don't know what's going on. So I think he might as well just join like his brother and like go for the tag belts. And I don't know. Yeah, that would be my opinion. Captain Lou Albano Jr. I love Captain. Captain Lou was the Mario on the live action Mario show. The Mario Brothers. That was like a sick show. And he was actually a perfect Mario for that time. I know that was like later in his career. Obviously, he was a manager and managed a lot of like tag teams like the Bulldogs and stuff. Actually, he was involved too with the Head Shrinkers later on in his career too. I totally forgot about that. Just thought of that now. That was near the end of his career. Yeah, he was great. I loved him. He was entertaining. I loved him as Mario. I loved him as a manager. I have nothing but good things to say about Captain Lou. That's all I got. I occasionally watch WWE just because of Cena. I stopped watching it religiously in 2010. Now Cena gone. Storyline, rubbish matches. You know what? The whole thing that I thought was stupid, like a lot of people, was the heel turn. It was like, you said 2010. That, I think, would have been when he heel turn. Then it actually would have been effective and cool. To pull it in his last year like this, it's just, that whole thing was a mess, and it really put a damper on things. And I kind of just wish, like, I'm gonna, like, try to give some young person the rub, a young wrestler, but I would rather, like, Cena have, like, a classic opponent. Like, obviously, you know, if Jericho is available, that would be pretty cool. I don't know whatever his contract status is or whatever. I think that would be a cool ass match. Or just, I don't know. Like something a little more, like, I don't know. Because I also, too, like, if we go way back, but like Kurt's last match, and no offense to him, is Baron Corbin. That kind of sucks. So I think it should be like someone that suits the event, like the last match. Expect anything in the new Hungry Money WWE regime? Yeah, seriously. The Bloodline, that actually, believe it or not, was something that kind of brought me into paying attention to it again. I like heard about it, and I was kind of critical because, you know, this was still like Roman just turned heel, as far as I knew at that time. And I'm like, okay, let me check this out. And I actually really liked that storyline a lot. I think actually it was a great storyline for its time. I think them trying to revive trying to revive it with Solo Sikoa though, not so much. Although I do have Solo Sikoa will be good. He just needs to find like the right like path, but I don't know. Entertaining, but maybe he's just in the wrong gimmick right now. I wish Trick or Javon retired Cena. You know, that would be probably better. I don't know. I'm not really feeling like the Gunther thing. I think like he'll be fine without this win. So if you're not a legend, yeah, you might as well, like, if you're gonna give somebody the quote rub, I think it should be one of those guys. Just, I mean, just based on their athleticism, nuts. I handed them. I did watch Trick and Javon Evans, right? Yeah, those guys sick. So hell yeah for them. Good job. But yeah, that'd be cool. Are you feeling it? Oh, BBA. Actually, that reminds me, tonight at 7, if you go over to Waddy's channel, Waddy and Bone Breaking Action will be on, not introducing, but updating and showing and talking about their figure line, or Waddy's figure line. It's like LJN based, like, style. So if you want to check that out, go for it. I'm at 34 minutes, so I think I'm good. But yeah, that's at 7. Bloodline was okay. The star of the Bloodline. Yeah, the Sami Zayn stuff is really funny. He's a good. I like him. He's a good wrestler. Like as a character, and his in-ring stuff's pretty solid. Yeah, he did. He did make it. Because he kind of broke it up a little bit. So yeah, the Mo made like Roman crack. I saw like stuff on that, which is pretty funny. Brothers of Destruction. Oh man, what a great team! Kane and the Undertaker. When they first got together, I'm like, what team can beat them? Like at that time, especially. Like, I love that combination. Obviously, I don't hold it against him personally, but like the stuff with the last match with DX, that was rough. Other than that, though, everything else I thought was pretty good. And I like their feud against each other too, by the way. That was a great feud. That whole concept, Undertaker and Kane, it was a brilliant angle. I love all that stuff. In a half hour, yep. Well, we're going on like 24 minutes, but Jay and Raja, hi. Jimmy says, R. All right. It sucks we never saw Cole versus Cena. because in 2019, Adam was going to be called up and the new face of WWE, ditch Roman, and it never happened. Yeah, I remember that whole thing when he was what was that frigging film that he was in? I'm drawing a blank. The Ford, I can't remember. Wow. But they were like over at that time, and he was like the leader. He had the world title or something. I do remember that. That would have been a good match. I remember when I was young and watching, seemed to be so many storylines backstage, well as some great matches. Just don't see it anymore, Barney Rubble. Yeah, no, I was saying too, I'm an old school guy. Maybe I look through it with one old school lens and I just prefer that because it was like my time period. But I said also too, I've been trying to keep up and, give it a chance. And I just have to just know that this is the past. And unfortunately, it can't be duplicated. Unfortunately, and AI, that whole story. So you never know. You might be seeing some stuff, but as far as reality, yeah, unfortunately, I think those days are unfortunately long gone in a lot of ways. But luckily, there's a million things to watch, though, as far as old content. And, like WWE Vault puts out some crazy stuff too. That's really interesting, like Unseen, all that stuff. I think that's wicked cool. Oh, WWF, yeah. I kind of figured that's what you meant, Barney, WWF. I just skipped it and then kind of Allender, and I like Triple H and Stone Cold. Yeah, they were the two-man power trip for a little bit, the early 2000s. I thought that team was pretty good. And then Triple H had him to like Jeff Hardy, that was really good. And then Jeff won, and then Triple H, I think, won it back. I think it was the IC title. But yeah, both of them were like definitely like staples of the Attitude Era, and like I think two like key components, like because you had Triple H and then the heel. I think more. Well, he was good as the leader of DX as a face, and yeah, he was like a top heel for a while, for a long time actually. So yeah, no, both of them definitely deserve their props, you know. The Undisputed Era, thank you, Just Be Chill. Yeah, that I was like, damn, they were. I knew it was like something. And now I see it, like, yeah, the Undisputed Era, thank you. I knew it was like something that I should have known, but didn't. Everything was so much better in the 90s and the early 2000s, just life in general, Barney Rubble. Yeah, dude, I'm very, like, nostalgic for all that stuff. I found it's just like, yeah, something just seemed cooler about those times. Like, I remember going to, like, ECW shows in, like, 99 and 2000 and just being, like, the time of life. And, yeah, and just enjoying, like, that lifestyle of just, I guess, with the word that is original in my mouth, like, the time before, like, the whole social media thing just seemed like things like meant more, like doing things meant more, but here we are, what can we do? The same Bloodline stuff had the wrestling magic like the 80s and the 90s, BBA. Yeah, I think yeah, I like that storyline a lot. That's actually what pulled me back into watching it again. I was actually too interested to see how Roman would do as a heel, because I like wondered, like, are they just using this guy wrong? Because I was saying earlier, they're stuffing us with Roman face, material with the suffer and succotash and all that crap. And yeah, I just wanted to see that, and then I got caught up in that storyline, so I started watching again because of that. I like Mankind because he risks it all, says Alan. Oh, Destiny said this is odd. There hasn't been any trolls. Yes, thank you. I like Mankind because he's risked it all, said Alan Durgan. Mankind, effing awesome. Yeah. All his characters. I even like Dude Love, and I know that was like the silly one, but you had Cactus Jack, Mankind. They're just, yeah, that guy was just balls to the wall. Like he just was tough as. Yeah, they don't come like Mick Foley, and I like whatever. I don't know him personally, but like his public demeanor seems really like nice. So, and I do like him as an author too. That first Mankind book, and like I'm sure a lot of wrestling fans, I love it. The Have a Nice Day one. I like Rey Mysterio because he's hot. LOL. Well, thank you, Destiny. I have no comment on that. If you find him hot, then hey, there's to you. Man, 2019 truly felt like WWE wore it for years. They had so much talent in NXT and NXT UK, and yes, I know some of them are main stars like Gunther, Ripley, but that's about all the names I can think. Yeah, I mean, when they did, I forget exactly what happened. Maybe they got stuck in like Saudi Arabia or something. And like the NXT took over SmackDown. I thought that would be the beginning of something. But it ended up kind of going nowhere. You can never see his face, Destiny. Exactly. Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. You like that, Destiny. Yeah, she's weird. Do you remember the Undertaker Hell in a Cell? Mankind got thrown off into the announcer's table. Oh yeah, I was watching the pay-per-view. It was crazy. It was like whoa, like yeah. And then the second one, it was like dead. That's what I thought. I think it was like all 17 maybe at that time, and I was like, yeah, he's dead. That was crazy. That was crazy. That was just a crazy match. And yeah, geez. Just shows again how tough Mankind is to just go through that. Then the tooth and the nose, and yeah, that's a huge match, especially if you're an Attitude fan, an Attitude Era fan. You definitely remember that match for sure. And now, with all the media there available, I mean, people can watch it back and I think appreciate it, too, if they hadn't seen it yet. One of the most memorable matches. Yes, yes. 205 Live, man, how can you fumble so much talent, just be chill in one man? Yeah, they didn't really like, what's it called? Yeah, utilize a lot of talent. I think, as much as I kind of give like Cena and Orton credit, I think tried to rely on those couple of guys, and at times CM Punk, sometimes Bryan Danielson, but like, or Daniel, whatever, but like, yeah, they kind of just limited that. Like I said, I thought they would do something. And then, yeah, the 205 Live stuff was going good, but they just, I don't know. It seemed like, I hope management seems like it maybe has, but there was definitely that size stigma. Still, I think Vince just really didn't value the the little guys as much as the big guys, so to say. What about Sergeant Slaughter? I love Sergeant Slaughter. I think his heel run, although short, is one of the greatest heel runs ever. I remember hating him. I was like, I hate Sergeant Slaughter. And I was all for Hogan. And I was like, yeah, I have Sergeant Slaughter. Because he was representing, and they got you all fired up about him. And then he burned the Hulkamania shirt. I remember that up to WrestleMania 7. The match itself actually wasn't too bad. It wasn't like the greatest thing I've ever seen, obviously, but it wasn't bad. They could have went truly mainstream if booked right. Another good Hell in a Cell match, Triple H and Mankind. One Triple H pedigreed Mankind. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a great match. Yeah, I know exactly. Well, I won't say exactly. I want to say Rumble 2000? Crap. Maybe 2000. I'll have to try to remember that. But yeah, I know exactly what match you're talking about. That was a good one too. That one, the original one with Undertaker and Shawn Michaels was really good. I remember all those like early classics. Alan Durkin said hi. The Attitude Era rivaling Monday Night Football every week. Yeah, I know. Oh, Edge 2000, Mick Foley, that was a pretty good match. All right, I think I gotta wrap it up. I'm gonna actually watch my buddy Waddy's live stream. So if you go over to Waddy's channel and check it out with Bone Breaking Action, they're like talking about this new figure line that they got coming out that's like sort of LJN based. So I'm gonna call it a night. This has been nice. A good chat. I like this. So thanks everybody for coming in. Appreciate you. I'll stop by anytime. Destiny calls me a turd on the way out when I just said it's been a nice chat. Leave it up to Sister Shadows to diss me on the way out. And Alan just gives a nice polite bye, and I'll apply the hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm going over to Waddy's now to go check that out. So thank y'all for tuning in. Oh, I love you too, Destiny. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Friday at 7. Weather pending. Hopefully nothing weird happens, but everything should be good to go. Friday at 7. All right. I'll see you over at Waddy's, and thanks. Have a good night. In other words, before karma gets in the way, keep bombing.